Before we proceed to consider the merits of the appeals, an objection taken to the maintainability of the appeals requires to be considered. According to the respondents, the appellants in civil appeal have no locus standi either to object in the company court or to challenge the decision of the division bench of the High Court in appeal before this court. It is submitted that those appellants are not creditors or debenture holders and they have nothing to do with the proposal and acceptance of the scheme under section 391 of the Companies Act, read with sections 392 and 393 of that act. This contention is sought to be made by the appellants in these appeals by pointing out that the appellant in civil appeal was associated with the original scheme for which approval was sought from the company court and that the appellant herein had, in fact, deposited a sum of rupees 18 crores as per the direction of the court and had also furnished a bank guarantee for rupees 10 crores and had allegedly discharged certain creditors of the company, and what was sought in the present case was a modification of the earlier scheme in which the appellant was involved, and in this situation the locus standi of the appellant could not be denied. It was also pointed out that there was a specific direction by the division bench to the appellant and others to present their scheme proposals before the court, and they had filed affidavits in that behalf. The company court was bound to consider their proposals in the light of the directions of the division bench. The division bench in the present round also could not go back on what had been ordered by earlier division bench. This gave the appellants sufficient locus standi. The appellants in both the sets of appeals had also submitted proposals pursuant to the directions of the court and had also responded to the tenders issued as per the directions of the company court. If the proceedings had continued in the company court, one of those persons could have benefited. The benefit that was thus to accrue to one of the intervenes was deprived by the division bench by its present order, and in that situation the appellants are persons who are aggrieved by the decision of the division bench and entitled to challenge the said decision in this court. It is also submitted that the framing of a scheme for revival of a company under liquidation had overtones of public interest and commercial morality. And in the context of what had transpired in this case and the involvement of the interveners at every stage, it was not open to the respondent now to raise contention that the appellants have no locus standi. In fact, the division bench of the High Court was totally in error in excluding their objections on the ground that they had no locus standi, and as persons aggrieved by that finding, it is open to them to file these appeals. It is also submitted that LBPL was also in the same boat as the appellant in civil appeals, and if it had locus standi to appeal to the division bench of the High Court against the order of the company court, the appellant has the locus standi to appeal to this court. In the light of what had transpired in this case and the orders of the division bench, it is not possible to accept the argument on behalf of the respondents that the appellants in the two sets of appeals have no locus standi to maintain their appeals in this court. They have been allowed to intervene by the division bench of the High Court on earlier occasion, and it is too late in the day now to raise a contention that they have no role to play in the approval of a scheme under section 391 of the Act, and their appeals should be rejected on that ground. Stop.